And should we move on to sustaining?
Yes. Okay, so now, because we're speaking about Chicago blues, and we both basically live in Chicago, and I spend most of my time teaching, focusing on what Chicago blues harmonica styles are, we got to talk about this sustaining. And this is more Little Walter than anybody, but Big Walter really takes a big part of that. And I guess I'm going to call it Chicago blues sustaining. I also refer to it in my method as train whistle sustaining. And that is, if you want to put the harmonica in your mouth and sound bluesy, all you got to do is inhale basically under hole 5. And this is in the notes and in the recording. I'm going to use here, well, I'll show you. This is what Little Walter would do. Very important that you realize that kind of sustaining, which is not a groove, this is stepping out of the groove mentality for a moment, that type of sustaining sounds like intense blues 100% of the time. You can do it through all of the chord changes in blues, or stay on the one chord, and it always sounds bluesy, and people just overlook it. There's a recording of an alternate take of Fast Boogie where Little Walter is sustaining it for, I think, about 18 seconds on one breath, which is very impressive. Of course, I can do it longer, but that's not the point. The point is that he really was doing this kind of stuff in countless songs, yet he's mainly known as this player has the fanciest and flashiest licks. People, they underestimate that. So there's 4 ways that you can do this sort of, that's what I call the shake. You can do the same thing, mimic the same thing by moving your tongue laterally, this sort of thing. That sounds like this. You can also take your tongue on and off the harmonica like this. Or you can use a throat tremolo and do it on holes 4 and 5. Actually, I'm mostly playing hole 4 with a little bit of hole 5. A dirty 4, I would call that. You can hear that those all kind of have the same basic flavor. The 4 different ways: the shake, the tongue shake, the rapid tongue vamping, and the dirty note with the throat tremolo. And you got to use the exhale push. Very important that you get rid of that air. Got to get down in your lower range of breathing.
It's pretty impressive how long you can do it, but I guess that's because you're doing that, huh?
Well, we do that song Catfish Blues. And that tune, to me, it's just a 1-chord song, but through the verse of the song, nothing I've ever found works better than just going... It's what works best. So I'm all about what works best. So yeah,
cool.
That's Chicago blues harmonica too. That technique is super big part of the Chicago blues sound.
Mm-hmm. Cool stuff. So on the guitar, the next thing I want to do is we're going to add in a little bit of the finger. You might notice I have a thumb pick on and one finger pick we have not used the finger at all yet so far. It's been all thumb because that's really the essence of the groove. And but now I'm going to try to add in another layer. So for our next layer, we're going to do the regular shuffle. Okay, the one that basic shuffle in the tabs, the third line down, this one. Okay. But then what we're going to do is we're going to add in the backbeat. So once again, the backbeat, remember from the chart there, the layers of the groove is the 2 and the 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we're going to do, and this is kind of a cool technique that a lot of the pre-Chicago blues guitar players like Robert Johnson did this a lot, is they would play a shuffle and then add in some stuff on the treble string. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the first string and the second string, those two, with this one finger. So you just kind of, my guitar's got a rattle in it or something. It must be the winter time. So we're going to hit those two strings like that. And we're going to do that on the 2 and the 4. So if we go real slow, I'm going to go 1 and pinch, 3 and 4. So I'm going to go thumb, thumb, pinch, thumb, 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 pinch, thumb, 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 pinch. So in a way, this is kind of like the chord bombs thing on the harmonica. We're sort of bringing out that backbeat, but not quite as intensely. But so let's see. If we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and you want to let those ring. So it is important. You have to make sure your hand over here on the left hand isn't, because if your hand is touching those strings, they'll get muted or something. You may have to experiment with your left hand position. Make sure you got your thumb in the middle back there behind your fingers, usually around your middle finger. That will help you have a good hand position. If your thumb is like this, then your hand's going to bump those strings and you won't get the right clearance that you need to do that. Should we try that with your thing as well? The sustaining and the backbeat.
Count us in.
Okay, so this is the basic shuffle with the backbeat pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Push.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's do it a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.